Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Gotham Knights, and not only are we going to be talking about Gotham Knights, we're going to be talking about some of the reasons that this game might be in its own development spiral, but in a very, very quiet and silent way. And one of the really interesting things that's bringing this topic is because Cyberpunk 2077 has just been re-delayed again and again, but this time the developers talked about why they were delaying it, and they mentioned specific reasons which we are going to talk about in this video. And when I say we, I'm talking about Mr. Gamey Daddy and Mr. Fat Ninja DM. So, if you guys do not know who Mr. Fat Ninja DM is, I will have him introduce himself. I am Gamey Daddy of the Gamey Daddy channel. I'm a content creator there, and we are working on the Video Game Fight School channel to bring you Batman content in many different formats, and so that you as a Batman gaming fan can enjoy what we have here on the channel. So, Mr. Fat Ninja, for those who do not know you, go ahead and tell them who you are.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is Fat Ninja DM, off and on for over 23 years. I've been running Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition, 2nd edition, other previous edition games. Uh, in general, just gaming nerd. Love to read, talk about comic books and other nerdy stuff. And yeah, I'm just really honored and privileged to be here with Gaming Daddy doing his thing. And without further ado, Gaming, let's get into this.
Awesome, awesome, good stuff. So, like I started out, the developers of Cyberpunk 2077, that is the studio heads, they put out a statement saying, we are developing this game. We announced that it has gone gold, but many people don't understand that when a game goes gold, it means the company continues to work on it. Our biggest challenge is we're having to optimize this game across 9 different platforms, being the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox S, PlayStation 5, all of the, and then including Stadia. Now, guess which other game has the same dilemma? Unlike games like Godfall or some of the PS5 exclusives or even PlayStation exclusives, Gotham Knights is going to also be spanning across almost all these other platforms, excluding Stadia. Maybe it's also going to have a Stadia release, we don't know. So we're looking at a minimum of 8 different platforms. And could it be, Mr. Fat Ninja DM, that Gotham Knights is also facing the same conundrum? What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're facing the exact same conundrum, and maybe they have a smaller team that is working on this very ambitious project to bring this game to all these different platforms. Like we're talking about uh, CD Red that's got this big, massive, people, amount of people working on their projects and stuff like that. I don't know the exact numbers of the people from Warner Brothers Studios making the Gotham game, but it might be smaller, maybe, or maybe like some of the key people, maybe they had family emergencies, a death or birth in the family or something. We just don't know. But what we do know is they have a massive undertaking with having to apply their game, apply their crafting to other various platforms. And of course, we all know every console or gaming machine is not created equal. So there's a lot of different caveats at stake here, and now the generation is starting to open up to cloud gaming. So that's another hurdle that gaming developers have to try to jump over to. So there could be a virtual cornucopia of problems that could be facing this dev team. So but us as the gaming community, we have to try to walk a mile in their shoes. So yes, we want the game to come out. As a gamer, it's like, come on, man, I want this game. I'm willing to you to give me, give my money to you. I want the freaking game, but you got to understand, people are human. They got to take time, and there's going to be mistakes and delays. So please be patient, and hopefully, when it finally drops, it'll be something that everybody will be totally excited and just ready to sink their teeth into and get the game in on it.
Some really cool insight there. Some words of wisdom too. I mean, crazy. because you've just basically walked down the different steps of the different machines, how they're not all created equal. One thing that I even do highlight, and I'm very cautious in trying to gloss over it, is even with the PC gaming machines, we've had an explosion of different generations of PC components. I'm talking graphics cards and different technology architecture that Nvidia and AMD have been battling for, in the hands of gamers. They all want to get, the enthusiasts the newest and better, stuff. And even when you're optimizing a game, you somewhat have to kind of consider the different architecture, that these two different, manufacturers have, if you get what I mean. And then if you layer it up with cloud gaming again as well, which is something that just popped out of nowhere. So even if these guys may have actually gotten their concepts together, say somewhere around, I don't know, Patrick Redding, who's the director, has been working there since 2014. So maybe when he had to pitch the game and come up with the concept and everything, that was probably a few months to maybe a year, and then they started working on the concept, and then they also have another game that they kind of alluded to that they're working on. So even if the studio might be big, like you also talked about, the numbers may not be sufficient in order for the studio to be able to punch out the game in kind of the old fashioned that they've been punching out games in the past. Around the 2.5 year mark was what the Batman franchises were doing. But this is the one time that we've waited about, over 4 years is what it's going to be. And even the release window, is going to be something that we have to deal with. And then even layering on top of all of that too, something that we have to talk about is, and me and Mr. Fat Ninja were talking about this, is how this COVID issue has affected everything and changed the world, how it's changed the landscape of human society and human civilization and the way we do things. And companies want to be careful. So companies like these would have most likely sent a bunch of their team members, to go home and work from home, which, you know, unless you listen to developers talk about how challenging that is a little challenging. A developer that does the Division 2 once said it's not as easy anymore for you just to lean over and ask a guy that's behind you and say, hey bro, can you help me with this with this little problem I'm going through, because he's a guy that he's working on something with you, if you get what I mean. Say he's a level designer and you're a world designer, an environment design artist, and you say, yo, do you want me to put this trash can over here? Well, if both of you are working from home and you're about to ask him if you need to put the trash can there, and he's like, maybe helping his wife change the baby's diapers, you got to wait at least 15 minutes to figure out where to put a trash can in the environment, where he, as a level designer, he wants that trash can in a way that it makes sense for the gameplay, sequence. And so that teamwork and the way game development works, where everything has to be flowing in harmony for you to get the best possible time frame, I think that has been heavily affected. If you think, I don't know, have I covered all the bases, Mr. Ninja, or am I
No, of
missing
course.
something?
No, of course you have. You hit it right on the head, actually, because let's say that we're not in the COVID era right now, and we're back to normal. So like you said, the world designer and level designer. Well, normally they're sitting right next to each other, or they're in the same cubicle, or they're in the same building at least. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say the level designer, we'll call him Barry, goes over to the head designer of Chauncey, is like, yo, Chauncey, I'm having an issue. Where do you want me to put this trash can? Well, Chauncey can just simply go to over to the Barry's cubicle and say, I want it right there. But now, like hopefully the Barry's not going through the time of having to change a diaper at an office, because that'd be really, super weird.
Yeah, that'll be
But
weird.
right. So so Barry is right there, right next to, or at least in the same building as Chauncey, so they can go ahead and hash that out real quick and say, okay, let's put the trash can and debris right here, and then they can move on with their day. But now, since we're in the world of COVID right now, so now Barry has to get done with that diaper. Hopefully, he didn't get no poop on his hands, and then
Ah.
he's got to Skype or Google Hangout or whatever, Zoom with Chauncey at home and say, hey, hey, bro, where do you want this trash can at? What if Chauncey is out and about, like he's going to the store, he's spending time with his family or whatever? He can't get right back to Barry, so now Barry's sitting in limbo, like, okay, well, where's this freaking trash can gonna go? So, I mean, just that little simple exchange could take anywhere from a half an hour to a whole entire day, depending on what's going on in each of those people's lives. So,
Hmm.
once again, gamers, we're fickle, but please be patient. This is a new era of the world that we live in now, and people don't know. This stuff might go on for a long time to where this might be the norm. So, games are going to take longer to come out. Like the whole entire cycle of games, how they come out might even change in the long run.
Hmm.
And we got to understand these developers, they have families and they are trying to keep their families as safe as possible while still doing their job. So, don't do like what they've been doing, projects, CD Red with Cyberpunk sending death threats to people. If
Hmm.
you don't release this game, we're going to go kill, we're going to riot, and all this other crazy stuff. So just be patient. And hopefully, like I said before, hopefully when they release the game, it'll be something well worth it, and it'll make that gaming experience a lot more, satisfying. So everybody
Yep.
just be patient. Just be patient.
Exactly, exactly. So I guess that covers, what we wanted to talk about and just, juxtapose this game in light of another huge AAA game that has been promised about 7 years ago. I mean, even us in the Batman community, we can say that we're in a different spot. This game was Gotham Knights was hidden and hidden and hidden and hidden. The studio was very secretive. They didn't let people know what was going on, so they didn't set any expectations or any false hopes. And I think that aspect has paid off for Warner Brothers a lot. Their hidden nature, even though it frustrated fans for a long time, I think now it's starting to make sense why you don't want to, talk too much about your game. But again, too, CD Projekt Red is also kind of starting out in a sense. I know people may say, but they've been established. Well, they've been established, but not say like Warner Brothers, who's already been established over multiple franchises and in different aspects as well, including cinematic and animation and all of that stuff. CD Projekt Red wants to do well. They can't afford, that kind of a failure. But I think that covers it. We already hit the 10-minute mark. So what we need is for you guys in the comment section to go ahead and talk about this stuff. Talk to us. We want to engage with you and read your comments, and we need to continue this conversation because we're in this whole boat together. We all want to play the Gotham Knights game. I know it's probably a plot line that many people aren't necessarily fans of, but still, we'll be willing to explore it for goodness sakes. We've been looking for something from the Bat family, and we are not going to necessarily be choosy here. But we would also like for the product to come out finished, and also the people that are making the product to also come out mentally mentally stable enough, not stressed out, so that they can actually receive our appreciation and our criticism, or which will be constructive nonetheless. I'm not saying but just kind of take that feedback and see people actually savor and talk about what they've actually spent years creating. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna have you guys, like I said, hit the comment section. Mr. Fat Ninja, go ahead and bid them a goodbye, and we will see y'all hopefully in another video.
All right. Once again, I've been Fat Ninja DM, gaming master, general nerd, geeking out about comics, video games, and such. And my mission statement is social enlightenment through positive gaming. Don't smash on somebody's build. Don't critique harshly of somebody's play style. You know what? They may need help. They may be they may suffer from a mental handicap or maybe even a physical handicap. You never know until you try to get to know these people. And I mean, of course, randos, that's a whole different thing. But for people that are in your clans or gaming groups or what have you, just try to treat people with respect and dignity. And of course, as always, when you least expected it, I just stole your critical hit
Oh
and
my.
also and also your sandwich. Later, folks.
All right, take it easy, y'all. Peace out.